Lullaby of life. From trees to stars, welcome. You are here tonight not just to rest, but to remember the ancient story you carry within your very cells. Set the outside world aside, focus on the softness of your pillow, and let us travel millions of years back to those shadowed forests where it all began. Rising from the shadows, 66 million years ago, the earth trembled under the footsteps of giants. But among those giants were small, furry creatures, peeking out from the hollows where they hid at night, unnoticed by the world, our most distant ancestors. When an asteroid changed the world, it didn't just end the reign of giants. It opened a space for the small to shine. At the dawn of the Eocene epoch, the first primates gripped the branches of trees. Their hands learned to grasp. Their eyes learned to perceive depth. This wasn't merely a physical shift. It was the first step of a mind beginning to perceive the world in 3 dimensions. Those first bonds formed among the branches were the primal seeds of our modern embraces and social connections. The mystery of 2 feet. Time flowed. The forests retreated, and endless golden savannas took their place. Our ancestors faced a choice: hide or walk, and we chose to walk. Rising on 2 feet was the most dramatic moment in a species' destiny. The hands were freed. They were no longer just for clinging, but for changing the world. The first hominins, like Ardi and later the famous Lucy, became a bridge between the forest and the plain. As their footprints froze in volcanic ash, it wasn't just their bodies that stood tall. It was their dreams of the future, the poetry of fire and the handyman's legacy. When Homo habilis cracked a stone, they were creating something more than what nature had provided. A stone ceased to be just a stone and became a tool. But the true miracle arrived with Homo erectus. Fire. Fire did more than just light up the night. It created the hearth and the community. Cooked food nourished and grew our brains. Gathering around those first campfires, peering through the smoke at one another, perhaps they whispered the first stories. Today, the soup simmering on your stove or the light on your screen are the undying embers of that very first flame. The cognitive revolution, a dance of symbols. 300,000 years ago, on the dusty paths of Africa, we, Homo sapiens, emerged. We encountered our Neanderthal cousins, sharing our stories and origins with them. Then, about 50,000 years ago, something exploded within us. Creativity. Those red bisons painted on cave walls were not just pictures. They were the first way of saying, I was here, and I can imagine. With the cognitive revolution, knowledge was no longer passed down only through blood, but through stories. We were no longer just surviving. We were wondering about death, life, and the stars. The power of the seed and the dawn of civilization. As the last ice age receded, perhaps a woman noticed that seeds falling to the earth bloomed anew. The free but difficult rhythm of hunting and gathering gave way to a bond with the land. In the Fertile Crescent, wheat was domesticated, cities were built, scripts were written, and temples rose. The Sumerians mapped the stars millions of years, and suddenly reached for the heavens. The roar of cities. But beneath that noise, the heart of the ancient hunter still beats. Now, you lie at the very edge of this massive river of time. You are the living proof of those who lit the fires, painted the walls, crossed the oceans, and sowed the earth. Your cells are made of stardust. Your mind is filled with the coolness of ancient rivers. The past is not behind you. It is inside you, living in every breath you take and every dream you weave. Rest now in the secure embrace of this eternal flow, for you are the most beautiful sentence in this grand story. Sleep well, ancient traveler.